Hello and welcome to Get Cycling, the last of 3 programmes dedicated to cycling in and around the Swindon area and sponsored by Swindon Travel Choices. Here's what's coming up on the programme. In this edition we look at how to stay safe when cycling during the winter months. We see what products are available to aid winter cycling at Swindon Cycles, and I meet some of the Swindon Bicycle Users Group. Well, that's all coming up. Now, I like to stay fit, but of course it can be difficult, can't it, amongst our busy, hectic lives. Now, if you've ever thought about commuting to work and wondering whether it's for you or not to go by bike, you probably don't want to be forking out for a new one. Well, I've heard of a new local scheme that lets you try out a bike for your commute first, and the best part is, it's free. This is Recycles in Swindon. It's a social enterprise run by the Salvation Army, and as well as selling and servicing bikes, they also provide a meeting place and a resource centre. But I'm here to find out more about the bike loan scheme. Hi Simon.
Hiya.
I'm interested in borrowing a bike to get to and from work. Can you tell me a bit more about the scheme, please?
Okay, basically it's a free bike, 2 months, with a £70 deposit.
And that's it?
That's it. At the end of the 2-month period, you get your £70 deposit back.
And is there anything else we need to do?
You do have to log your miles.
And how do we go about that?
Well, the bike's equipped with a computer, so that clocks up your mileage, and then you either submit your mileage online or by paper.
Couldn't be easier. So I guess it's a case of choosing which bike we want to have.
Yep, you've got a range of bikes from the giant hybrid, the folder, or we do have 4 electric bikes as well.
So what about where I put the bike when I get to work?
Well, most workplaces have secure parking, but there's also a secure parking provided by Swindon Travel Choices in the centre of Swindon.
And you provide all the locks and so on that you need?
Yep, the bikes come with locks and lights as well, so everything you need to get you on the road.
So Lucy, you've used the scheme already. How did you get on?
I found it incredibly easy. I came in, I signed up, I paid my £70 deposit, I chose my bike and I was ready to go. It was very, very easy to do. I've used it at weekends, I've commuted to work on it, I can use it with my family, I've been around Coat Water, been around a lot of the parks, taken it out to the countryside. It's been really, really good.
Now I know it also comes with the onboard computer to be able to log your mileage and things, but also repair kits and things.
It comes with a repair kit, plus you can bring it in here at any time and get any minor repairs done, get anything done to it, yeah, and log your miles.
So now what?
Now I intend to get my own bike, and with the family we should continue cycling and get fit and enjoy the countryside.
Well, I've got my bike, I've got my information pack with maps in it, so I'm ready to go. You can find out more about the scheme on the address below, but in the meantime, it's time for me to get fit and have fun. Well, it was a great trial and well worth taking up. Now, I like to think that I'm fairly safe cycling around in the winter, but am I doing enough to be seen by motorists? Well, as we come here to the bike shed, I'm joined by Swindon Borough Council's Road Safety Manager to find out whether I'm doing as much as I can. So, Margaret, Tessa, great to meet you. What sort of things should we be doing to be seen?
Well, we need to make sure we're visible out there because, with the darker nights coming in, so obviously lights are very important. And make sure you've got a front and a rear light. And also rear reflectors, and make sure they're clean. There's so many people go across the mud, and then of course, the reflectors are covered in it, so make sure everything's kept clean. The flashing lights that a lot of cyclists put on now, they're ideal, but not as a lone light, especially if there's no other light about, so you do need to have decent lights. And one of the other main things, of course, is your tyres and your brakes. It's a little bit like a car. Make sure your brakes are working properly. You're going to need them in the inclement weather, and your tyres are properly pumped up and you've got plenty of tread on them. Especially during the summer, if you've been out and about a lot, then just make sure you've got decent tyres.
And I suppose as well it's very important to have that awareness for both motorists and for cyclists.
Yes, because at the moment, when the sun starts sort of becoming lower in the sky, a lot of people, pedestrians and cyclists, are missed by drivers if they're coming up hills. And also we've got a lot of problems with blind spots, and especially at roundabouts, so it's something that we're trying to address through the council. So again, making sure you're seen and can be seen. It's not only the cyclist, but also that the driver needs to be looking out for you.
Well, Margaret, thank you very much indeed. We feel a little bit safer now, thanks to you. Thank you. I'm going to put Margaret's advice to good use, so I've come here to Swindon Cycles to see what's on offer to stay safe on the roads. So Mark, let's start off with things to actually help us see at night.
Right, so the sort of things we have to help you see at night is things like LED lights. They have now also brought in things like these Design lights as well, which are rechargeable lights, and you can recharge them off a USB. So it makes it much easier to keep them charged and access the charge to them as well.
And what's the price do these start at?
So generally we start from about £10 and range up from there.
And of course you don't have the huge expensive batteries like you had in the old days.
No, that's correct, yes. It's much easier now, and you even get battery packs with some of them as well.
Now, moving along to help us be seen, you've got some great items here as well.
Yes, so we also do such things as our ankle and armbands that we use to make you more visible, and we also have vests and jackets as well to...
So things like this.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
Perfect.
and that sort of product allows you to be seen better, and anything that can improve you to be seen is better.
And also the weather in the winter is likely to be a little bit more damp.
Yes.
So you've got some great waterproof ideas.
That's right, and we have things such as the waterproof bags, like the giant shadow bag, and waterproof socks, like the seal skins as well. So makes you much more waterproof, and obviously when you get to work you don't want to be wet.
Well, I love the idea of the waterproof socks and all the other things, so thanks very much indeed, that's perfect.
That's right, thank you very much, Alistair.
Now, they've got over 250 bikes on display here at Swindon Cycles, and now thanks to Mark, I know a lot more about how to see and be seen during the winter. Now, recently I joined cyclists from the Swindon Bicycle Users Group to get their advice on winter cycling. So ladies, you're on your way back from work and it's getting colder, it's getting damp, and of course visibility is not quite so good in winter. So what sort of tips have you got for fellow cyclists?
I'd say if you can get a nice jacket, something that's going to keep you warm and dry, if it's high visibility or if it's got reflective strips, then great. Possibly some waterproof trousers as well, they always come in handy. I keep a pair in my bag normally. I don't personally have them, but lots of people really rely on mud guards to keep them clean, and also to keep some of the grit off the bike. And the best bit of advice really that I can give is to find yourself a buddy if you can, somebody who you can ride with through the winter months. It's a lot more enjoyable and better for safety as well.
Yeah, great idea. And of course you were talking about visibility, and Kelly, you are absolutely togged up with some real high vis gear here.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, being high vis is really super important. I've got this jacket on. You notice it says polite notice, but actually looks like it says police notice. So cars will shut off thinking that you are, part of the forces, and then you've got them. They have to pass you properly. Something that I found with cyclists on the road as well is that they wear high vis and then they end up covering it up with a great big black rucksack. Yeah. So I've got this, which is a high vis rucksack. So again, maybe I've forgotten my high vis jacket and I put a black jacket on, but then I'm still high vis with my high vis rucksack. Or you can even get some high vis covers that go over your black rucksack if you don't want to spend the money on that. And these handy little lights as well are fantastic on the back of your helmet. So yeah, just get high vised up, as safety is key.
Well, perfect, ladies. Thanks very much indeed for your tips, and happy and safe cycling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, sadly, that's it for this edition of Get Cycling, which also concludes the series. We hope you have a very safe winter of cycling. Now, don't forget you can get more information about cycling in and around Swindon at swindontravelchoices.org.uk. Bye for now.